Although, it's right there. Although, like, I should be happy with my win, and I am. Everyone expects me to do it. So it's like, there's not a lot of joy from it. Maybe one day when I get in a position where people don't think I'm going to win, and then I overcome it, I might feel different. But as of right now, it's what I'm supposed to do.
So you're not happy right now?
I am. I'm over the moon. I'm glad. But there's just something that's like, fulfilling people's expectations hard.
So the elite mentality to have. Just talk me through that. Mike Balagan, shout out to him. How tough was he? A lot of heavyweights would have caved in earlier.
Listen, like I said, this was his chance to the big leagues. So I knew if I knock him down like 3-4 times, he's going to keep getting back up. So I had to make sure that he ain't embarrassing me.
When you dropped him and went back to your corner,
I thought that was done. I thought that was it.
What was Ben saying?
It's take your time, because every time I fainted, he kept rushing in. Obviously, I didn't want to get clipped with something on the way in, so he was like, take your time, and that's what I did.
Well, it looks like you'll be out in July, okay, on the Wembley Stadium card. Yeah, that's
you know more than I do.
Well, France has set it up there. Looking past that, look, so a couple of names that have been touted around. Filip Hrgović, Zhang. Welcome that.
I need a fight to go past 8 rounds, and then I can welcome them fights.
End of the year?
End of the year, beginning of next year.
Moses, just close off this reception you got in Glasgow, not your home city, but it felt like home for you tonight.
Honestly, bro, like.
And there you have it, guys. Moses Itauma setting the record straight. Shout out to Box Nation again for the interview. Something I want to counter. First off, Moses Itauma didn't welcome a Zhang fight right away, or a Filip Hrgović fight. He said, I'm looking for a fight that I know, or a fighter that can get me past 8 or 9 rounds. Then I will be open to a fight like that, which I have no problem with, because I think that's how you take your time. You know what I mean? You keep rushing people. And you can tell the pressure is on because of the way he's responding to the victory. Yeah, I'm over the moon, but people expected it. So I'm really not even, that's what people expected me to do. That being said, he's not getting the joy or the satisfaction of it, because it's like, hey, I've done this. Now it's on to the next. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. So whenever you do things, and whatever you do in your career that's victory-wise or positive-wise, and it's never perceived as good enough, you're always going to have some type of anxiety or discomfort when it comes to progress. You see what I mean? You'll never be able to respect the level you're on when you're always looking for the next level, because sometimes you can be looking at a step above and miss the step that you're stepping on. You know what I mean? And what does that cause you to do? Trip and fall. So you don't want, and I don't want Moses Itauma to trip and fall looking at the next step instead of the step that he's stepping on to. If that makes sense to people. Okay, so I like the idea of him saying, well, hey, I'll welcome a fight like that after I get an 8 or 9 rounder under my belt. Because I do want to know what it's like to be in the trenches. I do want to know what it's like to be in 7, 8, 9 rounds with someone, because he needs the experience. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. It sounds a lot like Anthony Joshua, but it sounds to me, it could end up exactly like Daniel Dubois. What do you mean? Daniel Dubois was the same type guy that had the same pressure, that people expected the same shit. Okay? From the Norman fight, and then from the Norman fight, you had the Joyce fight, and then the Joyce fight brought him to a screeching halt because he was in there with a guy that was much more experienced, not on the professional realm, but just overall. Joe Joyce has been around for a long time, and they thought that because of the lack of speed and the punching power that Daniel Dubois had, they thought, you got Daniel Dubois that can hit like a cannon. Then you got someone slow as molasses in the wintertime like Joe Joyce. We're already knowing how this is going to go. Okay. And that's exactly what they did, because they expected that to happen, but it didn't happen the way they thought it was. Why? Because Danny Dubois, like Moses Itauma, had about 12, like he has 12 fights now, right? Danny Dubois, fine. His first 10, 11 fights were all first, second round knockouts. If you look on BoxRec, you look at Danny Dubois' record, the bulk of his work was from first round to 3 rounds. He was knocking people out. He was stopping people. They were TKOs mostly because, of course, in the UK, they'll stop a fight. You get hit 2 or 3 hard times, they're stopping that shit. So that his body of work consisted of that. So he didn't have that experience for someone that took him, like Joe Joyce took him to round 10 before that fight ended. Okay, so that's just what it was. So Moses Itauma is doing exactly what's expected of him, and I think it's a good, clever plan to get in there with somebody that can take you there before taking on someone like Zhang Zhang. Even though Zhang is allegedly a 6-round fighter, you have to be careful with somebody like that. You know what I mean? You have to take the step that's in front of you first. But you guys tell me what you think of Moses Itauma and his thoughts on fighting Filip Hrgovic and Zhang. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.